our special guest commentator from Kekoa Wrestling, Fenris Fortune. Hope your yam bag is okay. Not really. I like RJ better. But hey, I got to make it sound like I care about you.
Poor Fortune's Easter basket is just
all kinds of scrambled and tossed around.
All kinds of scrambled. What a shame. But I am glad to be out here. His misfortune is, well, frankly, everyone's gain.
Exactly.
Because they get to hear my voice.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win.
Exactly. Never mind.
Introducing first.
Wow.
Our main event.
From Manoa, Hawaii. Weighing in at 220 pounds. He is the Warrior King, King Kekoa. King Kekoa.
Now, if you recall, this young man competed in a match about 2 years ago with Matt Taven at the very first Dynasty Pro Wrestling show in August of 2013. Put on a hell of a show. One would argue he stole the show, and now has made his glorious return after a devastating knee injury that led to surgery. Now he's back in the ring with a newfound attitude.
If you all listen to my words, I need you to shut your mouth and pay respect to your king. Let me tell you why I'm here. Who I am is the ruler, and what I am is a threat to Dynasty.
A lot of warding right now.
And when I climb all my way to my throne, and I'm the #1 man in this company, you all need to bow to your king.
I won't be doing that.
Heads, bend the knee, and bear witness to something you've never seen.
Strong words from King Kekoa.
Well, these fans are not having any of it. The fans here in Troy not interested in bowing down to the king, the self-proclaimed king, obviously. And he is going to face...
And now, Troy, New York, his opponent. He comes to you tonight from Vero Beach, Florida. He weighs in at 242 pounds. This is Sean Burke.
Well, and here he is, a man I am very aware of, a man whose matches I've called all over New England. The supreme talent, Sean Burke, a physical specimen, a man with a great deal of ring acumen. You mentioned Matt Taven earlier. This guy's big and strong and has all the athleticism of a guy like Taven. Going to give King Kekoa all he can handle here in the Dynasty Pro Wrestling driven main event. This is your main event of the evening. Brian Cady alongside RJ DeLuise, and we are underway.
Bell is rung. We are underway after a sneak attack from King Kekoa.
Well, the King better do whatever it takes to get the upper hand here against Burke. The man is bigger, stronger, and one of the most devastating competitors on the wrestling scene right now.
And now a whip into the corner. Vicious from King Kekoa. Sean Burke in obvious pain along the ropes. And it's actually quite remarkable when you think about the stories of these two men. King Kekoa having that knee injury over a year ago. And Sean Burke, I remember witnessing that injury live in person. He was taking on former WWE superstar Chris Masters and suffered a severe injury to his foot, putting him out for a long time, and has definitely powered his way back into a top spot across the Northeast in the independent wrestling scene as he sends King Kekoa out to the ringside area. And now the King obviously taking a needed timeout. Oh, hey, the king. All right,
I don't think he's that kind of king,
not
but
that king. Doesn't have the chops.
very different kind of king. Sean Burke just kicking our table, running so fast he knocked into it on the way around and hung up on the top rope.
A cutoff from King Kekoa. And now the king looking to climb up, and Burke has him by the throat. And now Burke, the big slam.
Tosses the self-proclaimed king back into the middle of the ring, and
Burke ducks under the clothesline, lifts him up, big spine buster. And a hook of the leg, and it's a 2.5.
Rob Vincent, the referee, working this all-important matchup here in the main event. You gotta imagine that with what we heard earlier from Chris Envy, the heavyweight title competition will be a tournament-style event. You got to wonder whichever man comes out on top here should be well positioned to enter themselves into that tournament.
Absolutely, as Kekoa turns the tide with kind of sort of using his walking stick or staff or whatever you want to call that. And now he has the upper hand on Sean Burke.
Apparently weapons legal in this matchup.
And drop kick into the right shoulder and chest area. The 2 and a kick out. Very lazy cover by the king. Very arrogant cover, so to speak, not hooking the leg.
Well, I'm not surprised by the arrogance of King Kekoa. We heard his words here to the crowd. The man is obviously very full of himself, very into him and his ways, but Sean Burke is not someone to be taken lightly. If the king has done any of his homework here, he knows that Sean Burke can get you from just about every angle. He's a veteran of the mat game, has wrestled them all up and down the East Coast.
And now Burke gets to his upper base, gets to his feet, a couple elbows, but then runs into a back elbow from King Kekoa, sending Burke back down to the mat. And now Kekoa doing his pose. Kekoa placating the crowd before he grabs Burke, sets him up here, hooks the leg, the arm and the head, and a big suplex in the middle of the ring.
Well, the king talked a big game, but he certainly came to tussle here tonight. He's obviously knows what he's doing in the squared circle. Dropping that textbook suplex.
You have to notice here, the king in his arrogance is talking to the crowd, aggravating them rather than focusing on Burke, who is now standing and now delivers a back elbow to reverse the charge in the corner. And now Burke waiting. Kekoa turns, runs into the boot of Sean Burke. 2 reversals by Burke, trying to gain some kind of momentum. And now sidesteps a splash from Kekoa. Picks him up, big back body drop in the center of the ring. And Burke is heating up. He's looking to climb to the high rent district. Although in Troy, the high rent district isn't too high.
It's not all that
anyway,
high, but still, it's way up there.
It's still up top, especially for a big guy like Sean Burke. He's on the top rope. Kekoa, oh my! Walks the top rope before the big shoulder block. And a 2.5.
Well, this heavyweight battle is all the main event we had hoped for and more. These fans here can't believe it, getting behind Burke, clearly cheering and starting their claps to get Burke a little more momentum in this matchup. Slapping his chest is Burke. He's fired up. He's got all the momentum right now on King Kekoa up into that fireman's carry.
But a few elbows to the chin of Burke. Kekoa shoves Burke into the ropes. Kekoa ducks a clothesline. And now a spear. Kekoa hooks the leg. Oh! Hooked the leg with one arm. Hooked the other leg with his own leg. Still didn't get the 3 count. For once, a fundamentally sound cover, but it still doesn't get it done for King.
Not enough. Like I said, Sean Burke is not someone to be taken lightly. And right now we have an angry King Kekoa screaming at poor Rob Vincent.
The best.
And Kekoa, to his credit, has wrestled quite a number of strong competitors.
King has his staff again, and referee Rob Vincent, to his credit, snatches it out of the hands of Kekoa as he was going to hit Sean Burke with it. And now, as Vincent drops it, the staff off, a low blow And now, spinning fisherman suplex, but no bridge, goes for the cover. And an arrogant cover from the King. And Burke's able to get the shoulder up at 2 7/8.
Oh, Brian, you got to think here. Had a fundamentally sound cover happen there on the lateral press.
Match was over.
I think that's the end of the match. I would agree, but that's not the way it was. Right now, pulling himself up is Sean Burke trying to get back into this matchup. Yelling at the children of Troy is King Kekoa.
Well, the King is looking to be treated as royalty as he climbs the perch of the top rope, flying. A roll.
Look at the power of Burke.
The power of Sean Burke now picks him up into a fireman's carry. And, oh my, knockout. 1, 2, 3. We have a winner. Sean Burke gets the victory over King Kekoa.
And what a way to close out an amazing night of action here at Dynasty Pro Driven. This was one of the best live shows I have seen in quite some time. Sean Burke coming out victorious over King Kekoa. Brian Cady, this has been an unbelievable night of action. Dynasty Pro is where it's at.